Hey Legionnaires, welcome back. We're here with another 1212 AD siege battle for you today, and we are starting off with a brilliant cavalry charge there from the Austrians there as they charge into the Hungarian attackers that we have here. We have a interesting 2v2 feud here. I guess it's sort of like a Siege of Vienna sort of style thing. We have Hungary and the Ottomans here fighting side by side. Don't really feel like the Hungarians would be betraying their Austrian friends, really, even if they were sort of conquered. But we have Austria and the HRE on the defense. So yeah, it's sort of like a Siege of Vienna sort of style siege battle. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. I mean, it's a pretty evenly matched one, which is probably better for the defenders. There's about 4,500 of them on the defense, and on the attack is about 4,600. But I imagine there'll be some quality there for the attackers, who will probably have some pretty solid units. But they've also brought a decent amount of cav, which is kind of surprising. A lot of Hungarian knights actually being brought forward, and they're now being used to protect against that against any more sally outs. We also have a artillery piece of here, trebuchet. I'm surprised they brought that and not, well, more cannons, to be honest. But maybe they're going to use that for maybe launching projectiles in and trying to burn the city, or just to try and just hit big blobs of infantry. I'm not sure. There is a couple of trebuchets back here as well for the defenders. They look like they're going to look for big blobs as well. Actually, more than a couple of trebuchets. They've got 3. Jeez. I wonder what the funds were, but I mean, that's a lot of money being spent on artillery for both sides there. We also have the Vlastella over here, so we have some sort of allied cavalry being brought up there, so we'll see them going in very shortly. But we also have actually a lot of allied infantry, I guess. Not many Turks actually being brought forward here. I see Genoese crossbows. We have some Italian pole arms. Yeah, the Turks not really bringing a lot of Turks, it seems, today. But yes, if you're enjoying the 1212 AD content and would like to see some more, do remember to leave a like, subscribe if you're new around here, and a comment to show your support. It really does help out the channel. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one. It should be an excellent one. I do enjoy the 1212 content, and you guys seem to as well. And yeah, if you've got any excellent 1212 AD battles that you want to send in, feel free to send them into my Discord. That is the best place to send them in. The link is down below in the description. As the sword, we're actually just patiently waiting on these swords here. Oh, I see the issue. The towers aren't tall enough. That's going to be a problem. A malfunction, that's for sure, on the part of the Hungarians. I think that's going to be the same issue there as well. So I wonder whether they're going to have to go through this one breach and only this one breach. Good thing that the Turks have claimed one already. I mean, I imagine that the Hungarians will also open up their own. They have the bombard that is available. Don't know where they're actually bombarding, but somewhere along this line, I'm sure. Have they been firing? Yeah, it is firing somewhere. Where, I'm not quite sure. Oh, they're destroying towers. That is what they're doing. Not really a primary objective, I feel like. They're not really well, they're defending the walls over on this side here are the Austrians, but HRE is really not. They would be quite easily able to just get inside, open a breach. They might not even have to do that. It seems like the Turks are doing a fine job of taking the walls, or at least the areas below the walls. But yeah, a lot of sergeants here, and even some dismounted Austrian Ritter that look like they're going to get trapped on these walls in, well, in some way or another. The Turks are going to learn for themselves in a moment that these towers aren't going to reach. So, yeah. I don't know what's quite happened there. It must be a bug of some sort. I'm not sure. It does happen occasionally in Attila. But we will see for ourselves in a moment how they're going to deal with this. I imagine they're just going to take the walls from the other side, land on the go up these ladders on the inside, and then that'll be fine. That'll be what they'll do. We've got this Vlastella here as well arriving. I imagine they've seen this Fuchsnet spear here, and they're just going to return back down the streets, because the cav can't charge into those spears. Spears against cav, the cav comes out pretty badly in that one. We have got Voynich swords though about to go in, and they look like they'll be just charging into these spears instead. Or at least they're going to stand in front of them, right in front of them. Wow, okay. Really want that standoff. Form shield wall, and then they go in by the looks of it. Yeah, I don't know. That was not the most convincing of charges, but the Turks are now engaged with the Austrians down here, and the battle for Vienna has begun. And we'll see who comes out on top of this. I imagine the spears will be able to hold for a while, but the Voynichs, I'd imagine, will break through. They are swords versus spears. Usually that does go in favor of swords eventually. We are seeing these sergeants here getting focused down as well by Genoese crossbows, which crossbows now in 1212 can arc their shot. So this is a very, very effective strategy. And look at that, they're being forced off the wall and into pole arms. What a cruel strategy there from the Turks. That really is cruel. Yeah, they see like stay on the walls and get focused down, or come off and you will be stabbed to pieces. And that's the only way off as well. Off the... Wow, yeah, that is actually cruel. They've managed to trap 3 units of Austrians on this wall, and they didn't even land on it. So really well played there by the Turks. Though they are about to just run their crossbows into combat. They need to be careful of that. Well, that was lucky that the swords broke then. But that was nearly a bit of a mistake there, to be honest. As you can see, the Hungarians have fully retreated. Looks like they are just going to be going through the choke point over here. Looks like a large choke point has been opened up. And it looks like, yeah, they're just taking out the 4 towers, which, all well and good, but it's not a main objective, I feel like, for the attackers. They don't need to worry about this. Spears here are going to be capturing the point in a moment. They also needed to help destroy these caltrops, just so Cav doesn't die. But, yeah, it looks like the Despot Spears, well, they were going to capture the point. They've changed their minds now. And the swords over here are winning as they go into combat with the Fuschneck Spears. And we are seeing swords, Austrian Foot Ritter as well go in, a tier 1 unit being thrown in there. Yeah, it looks like they should hold for a little while, though the Spears are losing. Maybe those Foot Raid will be able to turn it around. I know a lot of people do like bringing the early units because it's like the most expensive. But like tiers, it doesn't work like that necessarily in 1212. You're better off bringing maybe tier 2 to face tier 2. But actually, this is tier 3, so you need tier 3 to face tier 3. Certainly, tier 1 could get away fighting tier 2. Like, you could fight like 1 tier lower. But 2 tiers like this is going to be a bit dicey. That is for sure. But they are heavy melee infantry, so maybe they'll do okay. I don't know. I think that's another reason why people like to bring the tier 1s, is because it's heavy melee. But again, like a tier 3 sergeant can usually match them, but maybe not in armor. But apart from that, they're usually okay. But there you go. The Turks have managed to capture the gates, so mission accomplished there. Now it allows the Hungarians to run in, but it looks like they're already doing that. They're just going to go through the breach that the Turks have already made. So was it really necessary? I don't know, really. But yeah, as you can see, the HRE, they're not only defending the walls, they are defending the next level, which is going to be these streets here. And I mean, look at their pavis. They look excellent. They really do. A sexy-ass unit, that's for sure. And we've got some Glavina behind. They look awesome as well. Already a little bloodied up, as we know, from their charge out. But yeah, they look awesome as well. But it does seem as though crossbows here, Brabazonian crossbows, are going to try and duel with these Genoese crossbows. But I mean, tier 3 fighting against tier 1, I mean, it's going to be tough. These are heavy crossbow infantry against mediums. And they also have that Pavis, which is really good at blocking stuff. But it looks like they're just going to focus down the Austrian Ritter, waiting on the wall over here patiently. And it's just an execution squad for these guys. We'll wait for one volley to come in. But yeah, these guys just standing here. And they have to accept this, otherwise they have to just charge down and deal with those pole arms, which equally is not a pretty inviting option for them. Artillery coming flying in, actually going for those crossbows back there. Maybe they're holding their fire now. Maybe the Genoese are just not going to bother wasting their ammo, which is probably the best idea. They don't need to. Just like keep that pole arm there, and it's just tying down so many units that are going to be precious. Oh no, there comes another volley in. Yeah. It's unfortunate. It really is unfortunate for the Austrians. That's how it worked, and it's played right into the Ottomans' hands. Really, the Austrians and the HRE need to be relying on the Poles of Jan Sasabowski to arrive, but they're not here in this battle. It'd be cool if they did it. We did do a Siege of Vienna scenario ages ago, and we did have the Poles arriving. I can't remember who won. It's definitely worth checking out. It was a fun one. But I'd love to do like that scenario again. I feel like we could do it again. It would be pretty fun. Especially with like crossbows and stuff being like changed, it would really help like the more Western factions who implemented and used them quite a bit. A general was being attacked. I think he's getting shot at by crossbows, but they do need to be careful. And he's only tier 1. Be very vulnerable to that crossbow fire. We've got a polearm here as well, also getting focused down a fair bit. I think that's from the Brabazonians there. Yep, they're firing down onto that polearm, doing some damage. They'll be taking on some Buchschnitt spears as well. But I don't think that's going to be... Oh, artillery, yeah. They need to be careful firing a flaming shot through the defenders, because all they're going to achieve is setting their own city alight. And look at this. They've set alight a church, of all things to burn. They set alight the one thing that stands for Christianity when they're fighting the Turks. Shameful display. So yeah, already that's going to do damage. 2% right now, not too bad, but that will spread. That is the thing with artillery. Fires spread pretty quickly. And a burning settlement does affect morale, and a little bit of morale debuff could make the difference in end game. We'll see. Yeah, here you go. The Fuchsnet spears, they're going to fight against these polearms, and I imagine, well, it's combat even, but I feel like the losses from Archfire, I feel like those polearms might lose that fight. Talking about losing fights, also the Voynich now losing this fight. I think that might be because of the Austrian Ritter getting involved. But it looks like the Ottomans are looking to change that with some shots into their back, trying to do some damage. Lots of shock infantry as well over here, actually, taking damage. Don't know to what. They have taken a lot of damage, actually. Whether that's archer fire or whether that's missile fire, I don't know. I don't know, but that is kind of concerning. Settlement is burning. Oh, well, it doesn't say where, but I imagine it's still that church. Yeah, very much on fire. I like when you zoom out. It's perfectly fine. Zoom in. It's on fire. Everything's panic. It's all on fire. As you can see, yeah. Turks battling on down here. Trying to get through. They might need some support. Maybe a shock infantry or something. Yeah, I mean, they could really do with like maybe some Hungarian support. They really just need to make an assault. When they start making assaults elsewhere, the Voynich's going in. It looks like they're going to support in this fight here with their polearms as well. It's certainly a bold move by the Turks sending in their polearms first, but maybe because they were weak and they thought it was just worth a go. I do like how. Actually, I don't know. It might not be the mercenary Italians, but I like how they have an Islamic banner, but they're like mercenaries. We've got sergeants waiting in the wings there, and over here the HRE is now engaged as well. They're fighting also Turks. So it looks like the Turks are going first, and the Hungarians are going to be the second wave, maybe. It seems like that at the moment. The Turks certainly seem like they're being thrown in as meat shields. But they should hold for a little while. And they're throwing in some swords here as well, the sergeants. The black and the like yellow shields just look epic. They really do. It's a gorgeous mod, it's 1212. If you haven't got it already, I fully recommend you go and check it out. It's just a must-have if you've got Attila. Polearms there starting to break, that is a concern, but also look at this, mass routing started to take place. The Fuchsnets are done for, and these Brabazonians are being focused down by Genoese are breaking as well. The Voynichs also did break, so there's been some trading going on. But yeah, big losses there for the Austrian player. Whether they're going to keep committing troops here, I don't know. But the Austrians, yeah. The Austrian infantry needs to be careful. They don't want to just keep throwing troops in here. Seeing some Hungarians now coming forward. They've got the Swiss pikes here getting ready to go in. So it looks like they're maybe seeing how successful it was on this side with pole arms and swords, and they're going to try and implement that elsewhere. But look at this. So the fire is spreading. How bad is it looking now? Yeah, 3%, -1 morale, -1 attack, -1 melee defense. And it's still firing fire artillery. That one was lucky and hit. And actually got a pretty decent hit onto these despot spears, killing a couple of them. But yeah, they need to be careful. Need to be really careful. Got gunners here as well. Got some Janissary gunners, which is good to see. They are a pretty cool looking unit. But yeah, once they might be able to get a clear line of sight on some stuff. Maybe like the spears down here. Just start shooting into them. Be a pretty good target to go for. The gunners do rely on a direct line of sight if they want to be good. And you also don't want to shoot through your own troops, because it does affect morale for both sides, do the gunners. And it looks like the Voyniks are kind of stalling a little bit. Oh, we're just seeing basic swords coming in as well. Okay. Oh, here we go. Artillery volleys coming in though. Flying on in, and they're really just trying to hit. It's not really exactly a big blob up, but the Voynich just hitting them, and also these Genoese crossbows. Maybe they're that concerned about them that they are focusing them down. Does seem like that a bit. Doing some damage, but I don't really know if this is it's not a bad target, but they'll eventually run out of ammo, and they'll eventually not be an issue anymore. I'd be wanting to shoot things more like pikes and pole arms and shock infantry, maybe generals as well. Depends how bad it's going, but you could always do a cheeky gen snipe. It's frowned upon mostly, but if you're losing that badly, you might as well try and even it up. That's not me condoning gen snipes. I'd just like to add. Here we go. We've got Fuchsnecht appearing here. It's a polearm unit, but they are getting focused down. This is not a place that the Austrians should keep on fighting, because it's just making it really easy to get flanking shots into their infantry. And the Fuchsnecht, yeah, already losing like 20 or 30 men, like just getting here. These crossbows having a great time of it. They should really retreat to somewhere else where they're gonna struggle to shoot into the backs of them. I don't know exactly where that would be. But yeah, these are not the spots. That was a really good artillery hit, actually. Lucky that I hit all Turks and not any of these Austrian troops that are already just starting to die in this choke point here. I like how they have, like, I mean, look at these helmets. These helmets give me like cooking pot vibes. It's like they've just put a pot on their head and they've gone into battle. That's how poorly equipped the Austrian army is, clearly, at this point in history. I'm joking, it's probably a proper helmet, but it just looks funny. I've seen Genoese crossbows getting thrown in. They've got plenty of ammo as well. Must have been a misclick, but yeah, they need to get out of there. Polearms, pikes as well getting thrown more into combat. Don't know if they really needed to be.
Men are broken and running for their lives.
Austrian Ritter breaking, and I think that's also the polearms breaking as well. Oof. And that, yeah, got a decent hit there again. All four of those connected, that could have devastated that unit. And again, look at this. They're burning their own settlement. They need to be careful doing this. So now they can break through here if they wanted to. They can just go straight through to the Ottomans. There is Cav waiting at the far end. These Glaverna here are waiting. The Ottomans can't see that. They are still hidden technically. But they do have a good counter anyway in those pikes waiting. Again, the Fuchsnecht spears here, they're holding on. Patiently waiting to go in. Seems like they're just standing there, just all shouting at each other like, "Oi, you stink!" I don't know what you'd shout if you're in battle. Probably something about the opponent's mother. That always seems to get people angry. Looks like we've got some Genoese crossbows in combat here now. With their cross of St. George. So I don't think they meant to send them into combat, but again, I think it's either just a misclick or it's whether because they're in loose formation. Sometimes they just get stuck there.
Stand and fight, damn you!
Cav here did go for a charge. Seemed like it wasn't that successful, and a good artillery volley there actually did do a pretty decent amount of damage. This Cav here, the Vlastella, coming up, trying to do some damage. Looks like we're going to see another charge here. Retreating though is a bit dicey, and that wasn't a great charge there from either side, to be honest. Whether neither side was expecting it, I don't know. Glavenna here though are losing. I think that's just because the Ottomans got a better charge. And that's how important it is to get a good charge off in 12-12. It can make the difference. We do have a polearm coming up as well, another Fuchsnet. Trying to support the Cav. Whether that's really a smart idea, I feel like I'm going to need those polearms for the late game to defend these final choke points. All they're doing is providing the Genoese more and more things to shoot at. Here comes the artillery volleys. And again, they're firing at least a couple of blobs. It's something at least. And this was a shock infantry that was, I guess, a bit of a threat. It's coming forward at least. And Cav's retreating. I think that Glavenna is retreating because the Ottoman Cav has also been broken. So no real threat there. And no real reason to keep it in combat. Looks like the Pavis have been left on their own now to die on this side. Looks like those sergeants' support has been withdrawn. And it seems like the HRE are quite content with sending nothing else forward and just letting this choke point fall. Certainly very bizarre. Certainly very bizarre.
Our men flee the field of battle. This is a shameful display.
But the spears carry on fighting. Are about to waver and break though, and yeah, like I said, it looks like the HRE just giving up all these choke points. It does look like Austria also did get the word, but a few of his units are being left behind to just slow down the enemy. Sergeants here are very much locked in combat. They ain't getting out of here. Yeah, the Hungarians really taking over on this side here. So they just sent in some Janissary shock infantry, so they'll probably do the work and break on through. And again, these crossbows getting focused down. My gosh, it's expensive each one of those volleys. It really is. The Fuchsnet. They're getting in there. A couple of volleys and they could probably easily break through this choke point as well. That's what they did last time. It does seem for now that the Fuchsnet are siding through the shock infantry. They really are. It's only medium shock, the Hungarian shock infantry, so it's not exactly elite or heavily armored. It's pretty squishy. So they've got a sword infantry behind another Voynich here ready to go in. And also this Swiss pike is losing. Kind of surprised by that. And there you go. As you can see, the sergeants here have been broken through. But yeah, great shots there by the artillery. Getting some excellent shots into all these Janissary infantry and Ottoman infantry. Hungarian infantry, in fact. The Glavenna, they're going in, getting a decent charge into the swords. Really good use by this shock cab by the Austrians, getting some pretty solid kills.
Enemy units have returned to the battle.
And the artillery is still going to keep firing onto these blobs here. Another really good hit there. Here comes the general here for the Sultan. He needs to be careful. Yeah, I mean, he might route this. He will probably route this Glavenna. But it's whether he attracts like artillery or even archer fire when he gets this close and into combat. It is quite possible he could. Also, the Austrians have left the general back here. Don't know if this is a plan or a mistake, because really they should have him inside the settlement. I know he gets focused down, but I say it out there, he is in real trouble. And there you go, the Glavenna there broken. And now the Ottomans can just go into the back of this pole arm unit here, this Fuchsnet, which is already losing anyway. But they can seal the fate of the Ottomans, of the Austrians much, much quicker. And they've actually turned around because I think they're that worried about the cav. And it does seem as though the Ottomans have changed their mind on that front. They're not going to engage. But the spears over here have. Apparently.
The men are broken and
It looks like a thrilling battle going on right now between these two guys. Look at them. They're just standing at each other, spitting in each other's faces. Like, disgusting Austrian. And then it's vice versa for the Austrians against the Ottomans. There are archers firing in though, at least, trying to do some damage. I feel like head-on though is not the angle you want to be going for. They got them like a little bit further forward, and they could nearly get a flanking shot. I was about to call it a shanking shot. Don't think that they're shanking anyone. But there you go. The pole arm's broken, and I think that's most of the lower level now in the hands of the Ottomans. But we are about to see a pretty nice charge over here from Imperial Ritter. They're going to go in against a Voynich sword, and they'll get a pretty good charge out of that. That's a pretty good hit. It's brutal, absolutely brutal, and this Voynich sword is nearly broken. It's wavering. If the cav stays in combat, they might break it. They need to be careful. They don't want to pull through. And that's kind of what they did, because they got into combat with these janissaries here, which I can see why they were trying to do it, but just be patient. You'll break this unit and then you'll be able to go through. Yeah, look, again, they're trying to pull through. It's going to cost you men, guys. It's going to cost you a lot of Imperial Ritter. The target is obviously these janissary gunners. Really, they should have no right in getting these guys the Imperial Ritter, but they've done it. And you know what? They nearly broke through. Now they're going to go after the general here. With the artillery still firing in here, trying to do its bit. Cavalry battling away. You can quite easily tell who's an Ottoman, who's a HRE Knight. There aren't many HRE Knights left. I think only a couple got out alive. If that. Still over here on this wall, that sword unit and the shock infantry has been trapped there. They actually have gone to the effort focusing on that Austrian Ritter. Poor guys, really. They just didn't deserve it. The cavalry over here now looking like it's going to flank on around, maybe chase down this general's bodyguard. They can block off this other route, stop that general's bodyguard from getting back inside the settlement, and he's stuck out there. And that'll be a real problem then for the Austrians. I was trying to remember who it was, whether it was the Austrians or the HRE. Got the Despot Spears in here fighting away. Again, another unit that's just not Turkish. I think the only Turkish units they brought, honestly, might be the Janissary units. Which kind of makes sense. The foreign troops are kind of better. And in comes the shock infantry once again, trying to do their worst. They actually found a little gap in the line they have. Look at this. Yep, definitely legit assault here. And you can see they're having to throw forward sergeants and trebuchet crew of the HRE to try and stop this. It's getting a little desperate there from the HRE. Keep slicing and dicing, boys. Yeah, that's certainly not looking good there. You can see the sergeants starting to waver already. That is not a good sign. We are seeing a lot of troops now being sent forward, including Imperial, dismounted Imperial Ritter of the HRE. This is a tier 3 shock infantry. We've got it. That's a good matchup there for the Janissaries, and that will certainly stop them in their tracks. Yeah, it looks like these Voynix are actually going to waver at 96 men. It's a big win there. They need to get right a few of those units. You can see actually we're seeing the Holy Roman Emperor. Oh gosh, I clicked a bit too far. Holy Roman Emperor and also the General's Bodyguard. They're running for their lives. They're not going to hang around here. I don't know if that's a wise idea. And they might be able to get some rear charges if they're careful about this. The attackers have kind of used most of their cav, though. They still have this Vlastella here. It's a mid-tier one. I don't know why it's called mid-tier, just not high. There you go. Don't know why they did that. I'm going to see if they changed that. I doubt they have they? Maybe they have. Maybe it is just called mid-tier. I'm pretty sure it's called I thought it was still called like high period, but maybe it's not.
Enemy units have rallied and returned to the battle.
And now I'm struggling to find another tier 2 unit. I can't, so I'm just going to believe that it's just a one-off. I don't know. Spears here, still battling away. Hold the line, men. Fight for our Emperor. Fight for Christendom. I mean, I say that while they're also still fighting Hungarians. The Hungarians are probably also fighting for Christendom. Numbers right now not looking good for the defenders. 2,100 against 2,600, and yeah, I mean balance power is way in favor of the attackers. I don't know why, whether it's numbers or whether it's just like quality what they have left. And there is a lot of crossbows and pikes left, which I guess are kind of vulnerable, and definitely could be taken out quite easily. But I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of surprising. I won't lie. Still have the Flutschneck down here. They're doing their bit. And their big, funky shaped shields. I think they're fighting just Voynix, aren't they? Yeah. Doing an okay job. Oh yes, these Flutschneck spears high. So I don't know why that just says mid. That's a weird little bug I've seen there. We've got pikes in there now. I mean, though the balance power is massively in favour of one side at the moment, that can quite easily change. There's still plenty of time in this battle. They're just battling away right now in this choke point. The Genoese crossbows have been consistent, and this is a big problem though. It's great to see they're throwing in troops. It's a little too much, and it could cost them. Yeah, like look at these artillery shots. They're burning the HRE lines to pieces. That could start to cause routes. I mean, you can see that NAFT. It's actually -9 morale is what it causes. And as they start to lose men, that -9 morale is going to be costly for the HRE. On top of that, they're going to have that extra -1 for the burning settlement. Yeah, that's luckily it was a miss. Still burning more of the city down. Voynix over here, they're losing to the spears and shock infantry here. Dismounted Imperial Ritter down here, slicing and dicing through these Ottomans.
Enemy units have returned to the battle. Our men have rallied.
There you go. The cowards run away. Now we see some Despot Spears coming up for the Ottomans. I thought they'd be out of men by now, but they're really not. Still like Ottoman polearms here. They've still trapped that sword unit on the wall over there. It's sad to see. But yeah, actually maybe the Ottomans are going to have troops left, and it's actually going to be the Hungarians that are out of men. Seems like that, really. There's a lot of routing troops over here. Look at that. That's a real problem. Hopefully that might change the swing of power in favor of the Christian forces a little bit. We've got the General's Bodyguard here causing issues with these Despot Spears. That is a bit of a risk, though, obviously. They are wavering right now, which is good, but Spears against Cav, as we've already mentioned, is pretty dangerous. The Hungarian Knights over here late are coming up. And they've got badass armor. We'll have a look at that if we can. Look at this armor. Some of it is like... It's like midnight black it is. It's so, like, epic to look at. Matte black. It's such a cool-ass look. We still have that mid of the last Stella there that is just being held in reserve, I guess, waiting to see what the generals do, if they both go in, whether they don't. So if they both go in against that Hungarian knight, which they'd have to, I think. Oh, jeez. The last Stella can come up and outflank and surround units. The artillery is, yeah, brutal right now. It may have been one of the reasons why a lot of Turkish infantry broke. But it will be the reason why a lot of this HRE infantry breaks as well. Like, the damage being done is insane. And it looks like the Ottomans are going to take this square with some routing troops, which is always good as well, because this, I believe, gives a bit of a morale boost to all the to whoever controls it. And here we go. Yeah, another assault coming down this hill from the HRE. It's really just them left. Austria is really out of it. Jeez, the artillery coming in. That's another brutal one there. That must be like another 5 or 6 men dead. Hold the line! These fiery balls of justice mean nothing to us. They aren't breaking, they are just retreating. But the Sergeant Spear did not like pulling back and is starting to waver. Looks like they're going to use the heavy pike units here as a protection. These Doppelsodner Langpiers, I believe they're a new unit, actually. Or like from the last update, so not really that new. But you know what I mean. Like an updated HRE. Here we go, the Spears still battling here. This honestly could go on forever.
Our allies have fled, the cowards.
We've got the General charging in here. That is dangerous. I mean, it is only a trebuchet crew and some swords on the line. But yeah, throwing a General in at this point, bad idea. I mean, the Ottomans could chain route if they lose a General. Band's power, I mean, it's 1,300 against 1,900. A gap has certainly been exploited by the Ottomans. Whether they can hold on to it, we'll see. More routing troops there. It's not good. Again, over on this side, it's all quiet on the western front as the pikes of the HRE just wait patiently for the next Ottoman assault, but it doesn't look like it's coming anytime soon. Shame they don't have those gunners. They would be very good at getting through that choke point. And the Ottomans here with their allied troops still battling away. So we'll come back here and just enjoy this scene a little longer as we wait on a breakthrough for either side. Just poking away with their pole arms. Looks like we might see a general battle soon. These guys were just pushing forward. Whether they were going to go for that Vlastella, I don't know. I mean, they could now. It's fairly, there's spears nearby, but it's fairly isolated as that cavalry. And we're seeing another push up here. Looks like we're going to see those sergeants trying to repel a bunch of little units of the Ottomans there. Again, artillery strikes again onto this pike unit, doing what damage they can. And the sergeants fight on. It's certainly been a brutal fight for the HRE and the Austrians. They've fought on hard and they've done a lot of damage. Just have to see whether it's enough. Again, more routing troops. The crossbows going. And then rally just as quickly as they break. I don't know. I mean, balance power says it's in favor of the Ottomans, but I'm not really seeing a lot of great units for them. And also, this general here is getting focused down. Whether he's dead? No, he's still alive. Oh no, that's the Genoese troops. Where are the Ottoman troops that remain? No casualties sustained. Doesn't say anything about a general dead yet. There is still like a Swiss pike unit out here. And also we still have like catapults. Maybe these the reason why balance power is so much in their favor. A general over here though now in combat with Hungarian knights. This is not good. This Hungarian knight is tier 3. He is tier 1. Yeah, he is not going to have a good fight there. At best they were going to need a 2v1 that cav. Looks like he's winning on the other side though. The HRE is winning that fight there against the Vlastella. Whether he can hold on long enough against these Hungarians that he can get his HRE ally to come over with his general, we will see. You can really tell the difference. I mean, one is in plate armor, one is in chainmail. It really does make a difference. And there's also spears in here as well. I didn't even realize. It's just a tiny little despot spear. That will really help out. And there you go. General has gone. That is the Austrian general dead, but Austria really doesn't have a lot defending. Just the Brabazonian crossbow. Actually, very importantly, actually does have this Fuchsneck spear here, actually. That is holding the line on its own. There's nothing else here. There's really not much over here. So if they break through there, that could be costly. There are lots of units here of the Ottomans patiently waiting to try and break in here. And that could be that could be curtains for the Allied armies, actually. And there's a lot of wavering troops here. These pikes are starting to waver. And some of these swords as well. Actually, a lot of just tiny little units that are breaking there. And there you go. General gone for Austria. This is now evened out as well. HRE bodyguard. It's holding the line, but we might see a rear charge in a moment from the Hungarian knights. Fighting in their bright yellow uniforms. See if we can find the Emperor himself. I don't know. He does often have a unique model. That might be him, but I'm really not sure. Or that might be him, actually. That is definitely him there. With his purple cape on. Look what a badass he is. But here we go. Hungarians coming to the back, pretty much untouched after that fight with the Austrian general. In they go. And actually the HRE general might be in a little bit of trouble there. The Holy Roman Emperor himself, you can see him. He's like, oh god, I shouldn't be in this fight. Save me, bodyguard. And yeah, that rear charge has probably sentenced that unit to death. And we are now seeing a lot of HRE troops quickly dashed across this way to protect against the Fuchsnet. Well, the breakthrough that was caused by the Fuchsnet spear breaking. We've got shock infantry over here battling against pole arms. And some sergeants in there as well. But if that general dies, that could cause a chain rout. And there you go, another general has died. And that might be curtains there for the, not for the Austrians, for the HRE as well. I don't know how this general got in here. Did he pull through? Surely not. But he's in danger of dying as well, the Ottoman general. They might get him. But he is causing even though these Imperial Ritter are winning their fight, they are starting to waver. They need to be careful about that. Crossbows they're about to break. Enemy have captured the gates. Oh, alright, that's just the captured gates here. Okay. Not really the end of the world, but there you go. Enemy general is dead though as well, so the Ottomans have lost their general. Don't know whether that's just a little too late. When they had a lot more of these healthy troops from the HRE, it might have been a bit of a better shout. I honestly feel like they just needed to keep these generals alive and out of danger. They really should have tried to get them back to these front lines, or to their front line here. But it does look like the Battle of Vienna is going to be over. It looks like the Christian forces are going to lose this one here. Well, two of the Christian forces are. One of them is coming out of this victorious. The Hungarians, they're going to win this fight. Yeah, it's just a little too much for the HRE and the Austrians. It really did come down to the wire. There's only about 1,200 men left. Still quite a lot, but it doesn't seem like there's 1,000 men left, that's for sure. Looking at the numbers, but maybe it's just the sheer amount of crossbows. But there you go, a valiant defeat for the Austrians and for the HRE. We'll see whether we get an end screen here. We do. So we have Rio who sent this one in. So thank you very much for sending this one in. He did have as his teammate Mercenary, which is a bit of a worrying sign. Mercenaries only fight for money, not for honor. But he got some pretty good kills here with some of his units. I mean, it's a shame that this other Austrian Ritter just got 0 kills and was tied up on that wall. A lot of 3 of his units were, which might have made the difference. You never know, actually. That strategy there by the Ottomans actually might have just won them the game. But 123 kills with his generals, not too shabby. 266 with his Austrian Ritter here. His Fuchsnet Spears getting 98 kills. His Fuchsnet getting, like his polearms getting 119. Yeah, his swords really did not impress. His sergeants actually outscored his more expensive Austrian Ritter, which shows that tier 1 against tier 3 just does not work. Yeah, 71 kills for the swords there. 84 kills for the crossbows, and the Cav getting 151 kills, and his artillery getting 140 kills and 174. And then we'll quickly have a look at Mercenary's army. He was playing as the HRE. 91 kills with his general before he fell. 193 kills with the dismounted Imperial Ritter. 127 with the other. Then the Pikes not doing much in the way of kills, but just being an obstacle. Did actually do a decent amount of work. Only getting 50 kills though. 124 kills with the sergeants, 139 with the Imperial Ritter, and then 132 kills with his trebuchet. Then we have Lobster playing as the Ottomans, 123 kills with his Sultan before he fell, 150 kills with the Janissary Shock, 155 with the polearms here, 130 kills with the swords, 113 with another, 303 kills with the Genoese crossbows. My gosh. 201 with another one here. The Janissary Gunners getting 128 kills before they fell. Then we have RWX playing as the Kingdom of Hungary, getting 110 kills with his shock infantry here. 151 kills with the swords, 208 with the Genoese crossbows, 240 with his Genoese crossbows here as well, and 235 with the final one. Yeah, the Genoese crossbows were MVPs of this game, that is for sure. The trebuchet getting 125 kills, and his other one getting 189, and his bombard getting 78 kills. You really did pack out on the artillery there. But there you go, guys. That is today's siege. It does seem as though Vienna will fall to the forces of the Ottoman Empire. It is a dark day for Christendom, and they will have to rebound back from this defeat, that is for sure. And until then, guys, I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.